What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Extra Innings Podcast. I am your host, Elijah Rodriguez, and we are back today with another episode. Yesterday, we talked about overrated players on an article that a friend of mine had sent me. Today, we're going to be kind of on the same topic a little bit, but we're going to be talking about this whole MLB player poll that came out a couple days ago. A couple days ago. I didn't even know they did this. I think it's pretty cool because it kind of gives you a tell of where players are, where they're feeling, who they're feeling. And kind of just a lot of interesting things you wouldn't really. It kind of gives you an insider track on what's going on in the big leagues, right? So, and I think this is a cool thing. Obviously, it's a little ballsy for the Athletic to go in there and ask guys to talk, about other guys in the league. It's interesting, but nonetheless, we'll get into it. So it looks like they said they've interviewed. They've been doing this annually, so this is a yearly thing. That's bad. I'm gonna be on the lookout for this. I didn't even know they did this. Almost 60% of the players we spoke predicted Shohei Ohtani would be playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2024. Wow, that's interesting. Though no one thought that he was going to get that much money. I don't think anyone in the world thought that he was going to get that much money. I was like, when I was just like thinking about it before was doing anything like this, I was like, he's probably going to get the biggest contract in baseball, but like maybe like 500, 550, 600, maybe Judge-esque, like in the 600 million. But 700 is outrageous. But it says this spring, over the course of 2.5 months, they have interviewed more than 100 players, almost evenly split between the American and National Leagues, so split across 18 teams, and granted their anonymity, this is how you say it, to get their unfiltered takes on some of the biggest and most controversial storylines in baseball. So without further ado, let's dig into it. The first question, and we're going to do some of the most interesting ones that I think. So obviously the biggest one, who's the best player in baseball? 46% people, there's 102 votes total. 46% said Shohei Ohtani. 26.5% said Ronald Acuna Jr. 8.8% said Mookie Betts. 8.8% said Aaron Judge. And then 3.9% said Mike Trout. It's kind of hard to disagree there. I mean, it's very evident watching the guy play. You're like, this is the greatest player in baseball. It's not even close. Throws 100 miles an hour when he's healthy and can drop bombs 500 feet. I don't quite know if it gets better than that. Obviously, the full package would be if he could play shortstop like Mookie Betts and do all three of those things, which I'm sure if you stuck Shohei Ohtani in the outfield or something, he would probably play the position just fine, making him very much the best player in baseball because I really think he probably could do it. But yeah, these guys say that Ohtani is inevitable. So one player said, such a stupid answer, so vanilla, but ... he is. Ronald Acuna Jr. suffered an ACL tear in May and is out for the season, was the player's second pick over the quarter of the vote, obviously. Some other players that received votes were Bryce Harper, Zach Wheeler, Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, Jose Ramirez, and Corey Seager. So, more on Ohtani. So on Ohtani, they say there's no comparison. Everybody has a comp. He's got no comp. Shohei, Ruth, or Babe Ohtani, no question. Okay. On Acuna Jr., it's tough not to go with Ohtani, but Acuna's pretty close. I saw BP the other day. I was impressed, and playing with him for the past 5 years, it's tough with Ohtani, but you've got two guys in one. Yeah, I mean, you do. I think he's the best player in baseball. On bets, he's awesome to watch. He can do it all. I tend to agree there. On Trout, from everything he's done over the past decade, it's honestly incredible. You always pull for him. He's just a true American kid. He goes out there and plays baseball, and it's fun to watch. Also true, except he's always freaking hurt. So, whatever. Number 2, who is the most overrated player in baseball? You know what? I'm just gonna show. Well, no, I guess I don't want to jack up the stream. Who's the most overrated player in baseball? You know what? Let's just share the screen. Boom. There we go. Most overrated player in baseball. We've got, and this is kind of where I guess that whole tagline came yesterday. I made a video about it on socials. Jazz Chisholm Jr. there's 59 votes for people not watching. Chaz Chisholm Jr. is the number 1 overrated player at 20.3%. Then you got Anthony Rendon, number 2, which that's, yeah, I mean, he doesn't fucking play, man. He doesn't do anything. Overrated, yes. Carlos Correa, 100%. Tim Anderson after that. So, sorry. Anthony Rendon at 10.2%. Carlos Correa is a 6.7%. Tim Anderson, 5%. Jack Flaherty. Who's saying that he's overrated? I think he's properly rated. I guess people don't like Jack Flaherty. Pete Alonso, 3.3. Bellinger 3.3, Bregman 3.3. Oh wow, everybody's 3.3 all the way through. Blake Snell, Manny Machado, Ellie De La Cruz, Alex Bregman, Cody Bellinger, and Pete Alonso are all tied at 3.3% of the votes. But the number one guy is Jazz Chisholm. Unsurprisingly, players were not keen to respond to this question. Yeah, obviously, no one's going to want to do that. That's a tough one to say. Though people then didn't get shy, and everybody put Jazz Chisholm as the overrated player. Let's see what else. Let's see if there's any quotes. Other players that received votes were Yordan Alvarez, Javi Baez, who I think is not overrated. I think he's properly rated, which is pretty low. Chris Bryant's another one, okay. Candelario, Class A. Garrett Cole, get the fuck out of here. Devers, Adolis Garcia, come on. Alek Manoah is not overrated. In fact, I don't even think he is rated anymore. Carlos Rodon, Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto. So I saw a thing about Juan Soto. I'm going to say this. Somebody said something about Juan Soto being overrated. Let me see. Where is it? I saw it. I just saw it not too long ago. Oh, it's on Talking Yanks. That's where I saw it. Okay, so they said on Juan Soto being overrated, it could be a spite pick, to be honest. I feel like all he does is walk and hit singles and doesn't hit for power like he's portrayed. Also, not a good fielder. Dang, so somebody is salty with Juan Soto. Okay, so let's say in their own words. On Rodriguez, I think he's a great player, but just rated so high. Throwing him around with Trout and Acuna and those guys, maybe eventually, but right now, I don't know how you can say that. He hasn't performed on the same level as them or have the same accolades yet. So, yeah, it's still very early, still young. So, can't say I disagree with that statement. And it's hard to because these guys are there every day living this. So, come on. And then on Soto, it could be a spite pick, to be honest. I feel like all he does is walk and hit singles. He doesn't hit for power like he's portrayed. Also, not a good fielder, what we just said. So, yikes. Okay. Next one we got. Putting aside their stats and going solely on vibes, who do you want most on your team? Must be someone the player is not friends with / doesn't know well. So, and the number one pick, there was 95 votes on this one. 12.6% voted Mookie Betts. 6.3% put Shohei. 4.2 Ronald Acuna. 4.2. Okay, so 4.2 tied is Schwarber, Judge, Harper, and Acuna. Then the next tie at 3.1% is Trout, Lance Lynn, Marcus Semien, Willie Adames, and then also tied at 2.1%, Altuve, Arcia, Cole, Kike Hernandez, Francisco Lindor, and Garrett Stubbs. So, guys with good vibes, man. That's good to see. I think if I was put on this list, I'd be kind of excited. I'd be like, hey, I got good vibes, right? That's an exciting thing. So, Mookie Betts, Ohtani, Acuna Jr., Harper, Judge, Schwarber, Trout, Lance Lynn, which is surprising because Lance Lynn seems kind of like a hothead. I don't know how fun he'd be in the clubhouse, but obviously I don't know. I've never been around the man. God, my eyes these last couple of days, guys. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so then we got Adames, Altuve, Arcia, Cole. I think that Cole's a straight shooter. Like, I'd want to play with Garrett Cole. He seems like a good guy. Kike Hernandez, and then Francisco Lindor. And then Garrett Stubbs. I'm not sure who Garrett Stubbs is, but guy's got good vibes apparently. Okay. So in their own words, here we go. On Cole, never met him, but I've been a big fan of him for a long time. That's respect. Freddie Freeman, he's clutch and consistent day in and day out. Tyler Glasnow, great vibes, great energy, brings his personality with him. Yes, that I can see. You can tell in a lot of his interviews. He's just a happy guy. He's just happy to be there, man. He's got a lot of good vibes. Liam Hendricks, his energy on the mound is contagious. That I agree with, man. That guy's a monster. On Gleyber Torres, I think he's pretty vibey. And then on Ryan Presley, he's my favorite pitcher to watch. He's electric and kind of gets overlooked how good he is. Oh, oh man. Evaluate this statement. Anthony Rendon was right. The season is too long. Oh, they didn't. That one didn't age well. Only 30% said yes. 68.3% said no, and that's on 98 votes. In their own words, those who voted yes, it's a grind and a half, but I think there's worse things that we could be doing. Absolutely. Yes, but that's the easy way out. We get paid a lot of money. And that right there sums everything up. Yes, that's an easy way out because they get paid handsomely. They do get paid a lot of money. So that one's kind of, does it go both ways? It goes, yeah, but that's an easy way out. Yeah, I agree. There's no reason we can't free format it to make it 120 to 125 games with more off days and recovery. That this game is made for us to get hurt. Yeah, 162 games back to back to back to back to back with maybe a week off. All-star, if you're not an all-star, it's tough, but it would ruin records, and the world likes records. Somebody's salty with baseball a little bit, but honestly, I can't disagree, man. There's a lot of injuries this year, and it's showing, time and time again that 162 games, it's a lot. It's a lot to take on for the body. I think maybe you could use 15 fewer games and start camp later. Spring training is too long. Well, that's not what Blake Snell and some of these other guys are saying. I will say that. Not sure how I feel about that. He's right. I think cut out like 10 games. Nothing. That's all. Nothing crazy. I think September gets a little washy at the end. That okay. That okay. I think because September, once guys are getting washed and teams kind of they come out of the playoff race, they're not going to be in the postseason. It just turns into this kind of September's kind of boring for baseball. I think it's kind of weird. Those who voted no. It's long, but I don't see a problem with it. It's not like football where they get their asses beat. Yeah, they get beat up. The length of the season is what kind of separates the big boys from the old timers. That's what makes Garrett Cole special. 32 starts every year. Yeah. I've never been a position player, so I can't comment on how they feel after an entire season, but 32 plus starts is perfect. Fuck that. I get paid more. Yeah. We've been doing this for 150 years. Anyone who complains is soft. There it is. I like that. Don't mind the 162 part, but I think the schedule could be spread out longer. Okay. All right. Which team would you sign with if contracts, state taxes, and rosters were not a factor? 86 votes on this one. 12.7% said they would play with the Braves. 9.3% said the Red Sox. I feel like a lot of people want to play for the Red Sox, but if you're talking about state taxes and shit, Boston's the worst place to fucking be. Los Angeles, same thing, 8.1%. Texas Rangers, 8.1%. You would think that a lot of people would want to complain in Texas for the stadium. No state taxes, only federal. You're going to keep your money. But whatever. 6.9% said New York, the Yankees. 6.9% said Cubs. 5.8% said Padres. 4.6% said Phillies. 3.4%, which is a tie through between the Reds, Marlins, Astros, and Angels. And then tied at 2.3% are the Rays, Mariners, Giants, Mets, and Twins. I would, if it were me just talking before we get into in their own words, some of these guys, I would not want to play. I love Boston. I love Fenway more than anything in the world. I love it. The vibes there are insane. I wish, I've been there so many times. I wish I lived there so I could just be a regular at fucking Fenway, but that's not going to happen. But the state and federal tax thing, they take a lot of money from you. No, my brother lives there, so I know damn well. I think being a Dodger would be sick. I think playing for the Rangers would be sick, and Globe Life is just an amazing park. And then obviously, of course, the Yankees. Astros playing at Minute Maid because I've grown up three. Yeah. I mean, I'd play for any of these, man. All these stadiums, all these teams seem legit. So it's hard. That's a hard question to ask. Now let's see what they say in their own words. On the Braves, just because I was a Braves fan growing up, which is why a lot of people are probably answering, I'm just a fan of that team. I've been a fan of that team for a long time, right? I would sign with the Braves knowing what I know. If I didn't know, I would probably try and play 1 year for the Red Sox or the Yankees just to do it, just to experience that, probably the Red Sox. And then somebody just said, I love the stadium. Man of many words. On the Padres, San Diego is a beautiful place to play. That I agree with, man. Petco is nice. And on the Red Sox, Fenway Park is basically a museum. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The vibes, man. Oh, and this is the one that I was really wanting to talk about. What organizations have bad reputations among players? Multiple answers allowed. Okay, so we got 79 respondents. Obviously, number one, Oakland Athletics at 40 votes. Chicago White Sox at 19. Obviously, two of the worst teams in baseball. Well, Athletics not so much the worst team, but have the worst reputation. That's known amongst everybody that the Athletics are a horribly run club. White Sox are being exposed pretty badly about how bad they're operating and how bad they're running because right now they have 50 fucking losses and the next closest team maybe has 43 or 44. So the White Sox are by far the worst team in baseball. The Angels, with I think they kind of botched this whole thing with Trout and Ohtani. So I guess that's why they got a bad rep. The Rockies, the Mets, I thought would have been a little bit higher on this list because goddamn, the Mets fumble the bag every fucking year. Pirates, Marlins, Rays, Padres, Yankees. Damn. Nationals and Royals. And now let's see why. In their own words, on the Athletics, we're going to start hot. I mean, have you seen what they're doing to the city of Oakland and their fans? That's all it must be. That's all that needs to be said. Doesn't seem like they want us to they want to win. No, they don't. They want to make money. I've heard Oakland is pretty rough. Sacramento for 3 years. I've been to that ballpark before. They can't find something better. Let them have it, baby. On the White Sox, I've never heard a good thing. Okay. Unlike some other bad teams, they have more potential to be good. True. It sounds like no one wants to be there day in and day out. Now that is it's evident. Like it's the grind to show up to the ballpark. I couldn't imagine doing it. It's not good over there. You can tell by how often they're turnover that it usually means something's going on. Players leaving the organization are automatically doing better with a new team. That's what I said. Something has to change. There's something internally wrong with the White Sox. This is just terrible. And then poor communication. Yeah. On the Rays, when it comes time to pay players, they usually trade them. Yep, that's exactly true. They get rid of you once it gets expensive or close to it. Yep. They're not player friendly, obviously, because they trade talent faster than anyone I've ever seen. Next to the Oakland, next to the Astros. On the Angels, I've heard that they treat minor leaguers like crap. Organization is run pretty poorly and pretty cheap. General dysfunction. Thanks for that one. Been there, done that, and I have never heard a good thing about them. Interesting to know about the Angels. On the Pirates, because I've known so many guys who've gone through there, it seems like everybody there is just trying to figure it out. Yeah, honestly, the Pirates are just a breeding ground for superstars. Yeah. They actually have money and just won't spend it on players. Yeah. They have a nice stadium, nice amenities out there. I don't know what's going on over there. Okay. Well, that doesn't really solve anything for us, but thank you for your comments. On the Rockies, I think it's better now. When I was there, it was horse shit. Heard from another player, it's like going back to the Stone Age. Not quite sure what that means. Okay, on the Yankees, no one wants to play for them. A bunch of rules. Yeah, it's been like that for fucking years, for centuries. Yeah, that everyone knows that it comes with the territory, and playing for them is playing for the biggest team in fucking baseball. That sounds this right here soft. I don't. That's trash. Okay, so we got a couple more. What is the most irritating criticism of the current game coming from former players? Celebrations, overlooking the game's degree of difficulty. I'm not going to go through all these. Toughness. Okay, shut up. Toughness. It's not about toughness. They're just the game's better, faster, stronger, which is going to lead to more injuries and has nothing to do with people being tough. It's with people's bodies being able to last all year long. That's dumb. We'll read a couple because there's a lot here. Celebrations. We're having too much fun. I don't think that's a problem. I think everybody gets tired of hearing it. Just let them celebrate and have fun. Bat flips, complaining about pimping home runs. Overlooking the game's current degree of difficulty. The lack of respect for difference in pitching quality. Yeah. I feel like they're too far removed to understand how hard this game is. That is true. I've heard a lot of old heads that are like, guys aren't tough. Guys aren't playing well, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, if you were playing 15 years ago, the average fastball was 2 miles an hour slower. And dudes are consistently throwing high 90s into 100 with multiple breaking pitches. Don't tell me this game isn't fucking hard. Just because you were playing when the average high school pitcher now is 86 to 88. Or not average, but that's above average for high school. But a lot of kids are now throwing that in high school. That was a major league fastball at some of these guys' careers. So I don't buy some of that. Too many strikeouts. Get out of here. Okay. Toughness. I do want to read this. That we complain too much. Back in my day, if we had all this stuff. Yeah, seriously. You hear old players say it all the time. The game is a little softer. I think the game's just changed. They also say pitchers only care about velocity and stuff, but I don't think that's true. No, but if you can throw hard, why not try? I think pitchers still are pitchers down to their core. The main focus is to get out, so we've just found different ways to go about it. Agree. I think a lot of them say guys don't run hard. I think guys are a little bit better at managing their bodies. Absolutely. They're not smoking cigarettes and getting fucked up every night like they were in the fucking 80s and 90s. Stupid. Okay. Should MLB shut down mid-season so players can participate in the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles? Well, this is a pretty damn close tie. 46.6% said yes, but 53.3% said no. In their own words, those who said yes, it depends on how serious every country would take it. If the Dominican fields a good roster in Venezuela, then yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It's the Olympics. You only have so many times to participate. Yeah, I agree. I think it would be a blast. I think that'd be pretty sick. I mean, people go nuts over the World Baseball Classic. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense that we would want to be a part of this as well. If the players aren't affected with pay, I'm all about representing your country. If we can somehow still get a full season, I'm on board with it. Agreed. That's the perfect way to go about it. That's enough on that. So those who said no, I'd love to play in the Olympics, but I don't know what that would look like. I could come back for I come back from 3 days off and my timing is shot. World Baseball Classic is better. Injuries would go through the roof, probably, because it's more baseball. To be honest, we, the U.S., would be too good, and we'd destroy and win everything. What? Are you serious? Okay. No one would care unless you get paid them a ton of money. Got some cynics out here, man. Some of these guys are just not happy with what they're doing, I guess. It would be awesome, but I don't think there's a good way to do it. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It'll be tough. Okay, number 9. So you've only got this 9, 10, 11. I think it's only 12 questions. Yeah. 12 questions. Okay, so we got 12 questions. We're already on 9. Let's keep it rolling. Oh, sorry, went way too far. Way too far. Whoa. My bad, guys. I totally overshot this. Okay. Now, after the Olympics, we've got: have analytics helped your career, hurt your career, or have made no difference? Helped 76%. People say that's kind of a blowout. No difference, 10%. I don't know how you would sit here and say that analytics aren't going to help you. Both helped and hurt. I think that's where a lot of people would be. Hurt 3%. So in their own words, those who said it helped, it definitely helped. All data is useful. Any information. There's value everywhere. You just got to go look anywhere you can. Agreed. I'll do one of each because there's a lot. Those who said hurt, I'm not a power guy. I like to put it in play in analytics, say you need a hit for power. No, they don't. The less I know, the better. Yeah, I agree there. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Those who said both, analytics hurt my career by overthinking, but it helped by learning the game and how it's going. You have to like analytics to learn how to adapt. Agree. It's probably done both. I think it can help you, but can also create a ceiling for you. I don't think, okay, my opinion here, I think that it helps a lot of guys because, like I said, you need to know analytics, to know the trends, know how you're doing, how everything's going. But at the same time, it can be detrimental. It can mess with your head, which is why, a lot of guys will not look at stats because it can mess with your head. It can create a pseudo ceiling for yourself or these fake goals that you may feel like you need to reach and it could jack you up. So I agree. I think I'd be probably someone who said both. I like to know, but at the same time, it's going to mess with me a little bit. Have you ever seen or heard a player being put on the injured list when they weren't injured enough to merit it? God, they're just looking for dirt, bro. Looking for guys to just rat on dudes, man. Jesus. 64% said yes. 35% said no. Let's see. In their own words, those who said yes all the time, we're either going to option you to AAA because we need a fresh arm, or we'll put you on the IL and get you big league time. That's real. Damn, that's fucked up. I don't know how the league can make a rule that combats that, though. Trainers have notes to cover everything. You go on the IL for fatigue. LOL, laugh out loud, just a few times. I've seen it a lot. It came from an assistant that did it all the time while nodding his eyes and widening his eyes. While nodding his head and widening his eyes, no. Yeah, 100%. Those who said no. I've seen it in the minors. That's all I'm going to say. No one has ever been like, I'm completely fine, and then put them on the IL. I've had my suspicions, but I don't know. That's a tough question to answer. I would be reluctant to answer that. All right. Was the Dodgers offseason spending good for the game? Ooh, that's a big fucking question. 91.8% said yes. 4.65 said no. And then 3% said, I don't give a shit. I don't know. In their own words, it's good for baseball. Look, these are for those who said yes. It's good for baseball, and any team could have done it. Debatable. I think it's good for baseball, but only if it results in wins, like the Los Angeles Rams a couple years ago going all in to win a Super Bowl. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. No. I want to say good, but not good. Okay, we're just going to omit that. I don't think it was. I just think other teams should be able to spend like that. I feel like the Dodgers are always a team that can get all the best players in the world. That I do feel. And to say that anyone could have done it is kind of BS because no, not everyone can just go drop $700 million in the next 20 years. That's ridiculous. It's insanity to think that that's something that every business, because that's essentially what all these teams are, just a bunch of businesses, cannot go out and spend $700 million on one guy. It's outrageous. We have a documentary about that in the next few years, but the deferred money, that I don't agree with. I don't either. I thought that was illegal as shit. How can you do that? I think they should have to pay for it right now while he's playing. I just think it's a loophole. It's not even their money. President of Baseball Operations, Andrew Friedman's money, or the owner's money. Yeah, I think that's BS. I think that's a little shitty, honestly. And it's just because, like, well, if that's the case, then anyone can go sign anyone and just start deferring all these payments and I have to pay it up front. It's like a paying for like a Klarna for baseball. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. If you want to sign a guy for big money, you should have to cough up that money ASAP for the player. It's a loophole. It's a loophole, and I think that it's tough. I agree. I think it's good for the game, but I think they should have gone about it a different way. And the last question of the day, guys, last one we got on this poll. Are you in favor or opposed to MLB adopting the salary cap and floor system used in other major sports leagues? Please, dear God, opposed. Thank you. Don't ruin the game. Floor, no cap, in favor. Me personally, I'm opposed. Don't fuck with baseball. Don't start fucking with contracts, all that shit. And that's why a lot of times you have basketball, the same fucking 10 teams in the fucking finals. In football, you got the same 10 because it's when you create ceiling caps and you mandate the game, it changes everything. It changes everything. So let's see what people are saying. In their own words, those who are opposed. I think the no cap is what makes baseball unique. Yes, it could result in some teams having to spend money on guys who aren't worth it. Yes, it changes everything. Player-wise, I want to get as much as they can. You don't play the game forever, so you try to make as much and do as good as a job you can while you do it. Absolutely. Absolutely. In favor of the floor, but no cap. Yeah, of course, there are definitely organizations that have great rosters that don't take in 9 figures. True. So for those players on a team like that, they should be able to make more money. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think there should be a floor, but no ceiling. Okay. I think, yeah, okay, floor for sure. Floor for sure. There needs to be a floor, but no ceiling is fine. I do think there's probably a third of the league that doesn't even try to put out good product. They don't, aka the fucking athletics. Yeah. But if you made teams to be at a certain point, I think that spending drives each other to match. Whatever. I don't agree with that. Those in favor. I'm in favor of it. You can raise team spending, and of course, you have to have a cap. I'm for it. I think it would help mid-level players. No, it would help even the playing field, wait, what? It would help even the playing field, though you still have to play the games. But these rosters are outrageous. Okay, so people are upset. And but let me read the last one. I would say in favor because there are definitely teams that don't compete. A floor would probably be more beneficial than a ceiling. Okay, true, fair enough. I will say this. There have been more blowouts this year I've seen in a long time. I mean, you got the Dodgers rolling over guys. The Yankees have been rolling over guys. These power teams, the Braves roll over guys. So these power teams come through, and I guess that's what people are upset about, that some of these games they're not even games. Like last night, the Rangers, who are very hurt, won the World Series last year, who are very injury-riddled right now, missing a lot of guys, got absolutely fucking stomped by the Dodgers 15-2, 4 home runs in 1 inning. So I can understand it, but at the same time, I don't think it's detrimental enough to change the entire foundation that baseball's built on. No, I don't think so. So as much as I would like to have more games closer and more evenness amongst teams, I don't think it's worth it. I think that baseball is not broke. Don't fix it. I mean, sorry. Yeah. I think baseball is not broken, so there's no need to fix it. Like, why would we start doing stuff like this? That doesn't make any sense to me. Keep it exactly how it is. Maybe I think a ceiling would be good to help other guys help these lower budget teams that just don't spend, like the Reds, like the Pirates, like the Athletics, like some of these teams, the Angels, these teams that don't spend money or just like don't have the salaries or the revenue to do it. I think a ceiling would help instill to make sure that these players are taken care of. That I do agree with. But to say that we need to put a ceiling to even out the game because there's too many superstars, that I have to say I don't agree with. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all found that interesting. I did. I think it's awesome. If you want to go check it out, it's on The Athletic. It's New York Times division of sports. Go check out the MLB poll. They do this every year, apparently. So next year, you bet your ass I'm going to be looking for this. I might even go back and look at some of the ones from earlier years because that's crazy that they even went through and did this, asking players to talk about current topics and current players in Major League Baseball that they are peers and playing amongst. So ballsy, but that's hella content. But like I said, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to follow us on socials. We got a lot of videos on there. Gonna have some funny ones today. Having a breakdown tomorrow as well. Another one. We did one on Monday. We'll have another one tomorrow. It'll be a good one, I promise. Be sure to like us. Please rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you. It does help us, and it helps us get the algorithm and get it going so we can get pushed a little bit more in some other people's channels. So be sure to like, follow, subscribe on YouTube, and if you're on Apple or if you're on Spotify, give us a rating. I really appreciate it. So like I said, guys, thanks for listening. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll catch you then.